Welcome back to the channel. So, it appears Joyner Lucas has finally dropped his fucking record. Now, I haven't always been the biggest fan of Joyner Lucas. I find the dude a little bit corny sometimes. The singles that I heard leading up to this project, especially I Love, were bangers. I Love is easily my favorite Joyner Lucas track. Well, I mean, it's at least the one that I have the most fun with. So, naturally, I'm coming in here with some semi-high hopes. It's been a long wait for this album. I think the lead single came out like 2 years ago now. Let's hop into it and see what we got going on. So, first track, called Screening Evaluation Skit, was an interesting cut. I have already listened to it, so I'm not gonna listen to it again on camera here. He's bringing up the themes of mental illness that's clearly gonna be prevalent given the title. I'm wondering if this very demeaning therapist is going to be kind of our antagonist, or if this is a one-time thing. Whoever played the therapist in the skit did a really good job, but whoever's playing this kid, it makes me cringe just a smidgen. I mean, I know kids are cringy. However, this intro track leads into what is titled as an intro. I feel like Joyner maybe should have just combined these two tracks. I don't know. We'll see what's up here. If this is cohesive as a song on its own, I guess I wouldn't want a skit in front of it every time I hear it. That's usually the whole point in separating the skits from the songs. So we're gonna give this first track a listen here. Got it pulled up. Already liking this.
On the Sonic Cabana with diamonds and gold on top of the Phantom. Jesus told Mary, go get me a hammer with dirty Diana. And now you can't look at them, don't try to play me. I'm out of my pills and now just hate me. I'm out of my mind and no one can save me. I wish I could. Back with a nigga with job that's trying to get by.
Beat switch.
Using myself. Oh me die. I let the money change me. I lie. I let the money change me. I lie.
Yeah, there's a lot of passion in this.
Bitch, I fuck her to death. And how do I say a scheme? I'm easy to hate. I'm harder to love. Either well, I had him over. I didn't mean it.
Okay, that's getting a little old.
I was just trying to survive. The money would dry.
The way that wraps around.
I let the money. I just put some gold. Put it now.
Fucking disrespect. Yeah, I can do without that sample at this point.
I was just trying to survive. The money changed me. I lied.
Coming back to it. Hell yeah.
I let the money change me. I lied.
Yeah, that sample's repetitive, dude. Alright, so I lied. Nice opener for sure. Yeah, that went fucking hard, dude. I'm not really sure what makes this an intro, because really it was definitely a standalone song. Like I was saying with the skit, I don't know why he didn't just call that the intro and just call this track I Lied, because that was definitely a cohesive song on its own. The kind of theme that I'm getting from this is letting money affect you as a person. Half of this he's kind of flexing, and half of this he's talking about when he used to be broke. So it's kind of a lot about how money affects people. I'm digging that track, definitely. I'm just not sure how it's gonna fit in with the overall theme, considering we've got this whole ADHD thing coming in. ISIS featuring Logic, pretty decent track. My only problems kind of resonate in the area of the lyrical content. Something really rubs me the wrong way about using ISIS in this metaphor like this, but most of this track goes pretty hard. I am a pretty harsh critic of Logic. I think that he put out one of the worst albums of last year. But usually dude comes through on the features, and while I don't like Logic's part anywhere near as much as Joyner's on this song, I think that he delivered. I'm not sure if this song was a single going into the album. This one is called The War, featuring Young Thug. Interesting feature. I'm not sure what kind of chemistry they're gonna have. Let's find out.
I spent a check on a whip, on a bitch, on a grip, on
Oh, we got a slower cut. His singing is kind of Bass line is nice. Those ad-libs are no.
Go to work, like, pay my dues. I ain't gonna lose. Hit him with the hand and Devo. All in one walk if you ain't got shoes. Yeah. She just wanna know
I hate how the ad-libs sound over this instrumental. Took's growing on me. His singing is still iffy though. Resting on here. Oh, there we go. Now I can tell it's Young Thug. No. There's that bass line again. Yeah, definitely. It really enhances this hook too. That song I'm kind of mixed on. I haven't really heard Joyner do a lot of kind of really mellow tracks like that. His singing is not top notch by any means. I thought it was okay, and he made the hook catchy enough to where I don't really mind it. The instrumental really aided a lot of this, even though the whole acoustic guitar thing feels a little bit generic at this point. Young Thug delivers a pretty solid feature on here as well. I didn't mind that feature at all. Both of them say some kind of corny shit, but we'll ignore it, because, I mean, knew what we were getting into. Up next, Chris Skit.
Joyner, man, what's happening, man? Look, man, let me just let you know, man, you taking too goddamn long with this album, man. Yes, man. You been milking the fuck out of that album cover, man. You throwing a pity party because you got ADHD. And drop this damn album already. Goddamn, we waiting. Bye.
Okay, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be taking from that. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to be on whoever Chris is. I'm gonna feel dumb for not knowing who that was after I record this and look it up, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be on his side or not. I kind of am. While I think that obviously Joyner's issue is serious, it has taken a long ass time to. Next track, have already heard, already talked about it. I love, great single. It's a banger. Devil's Work. I know this one was a single, but I might have listened to it once. I'm not sure. I'm gonna listen to it again. Guitar?
Trying to understand your vision. All I see is damage. Father broad need answers. We don't need to die young. We just need check. A lot of families lost and they see stranded. I ain't trying to disrespect you. I just need answers. Give us Biggie, give us Pun, give us Triple L.
I'm just gonna take a second to pause here. Everything that he's saying on this track is pretty true, but I feel like that corny delivery is shining through just a little bit. I don't know, just some of the delivery of his message here maybe isn't hitting. I'm interested to see where this is.
How you take a leader, then you take a leader with your little scoop. Get that boys look a true king, a true brother. And give us Michael Jackson back. Feds want me, and then slam it down. Ain't no justice.
That's a really easy
I'm afraid of being judged. I've been staring at this as a line bet. Pose a lesson, either that or give us back somebody who deserved the blessings. I left out a bunch of names that I forgot to mention. Cost too much to pay attention and it got expensive. Father, forgive me for I know not what I do. For it's the devil's work. Devil's work.
I like that percussion. That was cool. And I'm wondering if it's gonna lead into our next track. We're gonna find out. It did not. Initially, he had me invested and interested in what he was saying, but sooner or later, just mentioning all these dead people becomes buzzwords and nothing else. Like, you're just supposed to get chills every time he says a name, and that works like the first 3 times, and that's about it. While a lot of the people who he's telling God to take instead of other people are pretty shitty people from what at least we can have an understanding of, I don't really think that it's in his place to judge in this way. Kind of feels like a God complex, and that's a little pretentious if you ask me. Next track is Lotto. Interesting beat.
Just a wish list. Not a broke nigga doing big shit, so keep one eye open like Slick Ring. I got the drip game nigga on the big man. Switch lanes on him, hit the mid range.
This dropped good.
I ain't never over. I got a little check that I cashed out.
What? Why is that here? This is Spanish. And now it's not. Because I'm doing a lot for me or this refrain anyways.
Amber, hold a little nigga for a ransom. I moved from the trap to the mansion.
Stop saying you're gonna kidnap people. It's weird. But you just did.
Clean and give them all sober. Watch Watch how I do it. I'm on wall with a rich nigga. You should hit the gym, get a bit bigger. I ain't got people. Gangsters, hustlers, killers, follow. I'm the.
Yeah, this hook is still doing nothing for me. I'm sorry. Yeah, overall, a lot of the lyricism on that track didn't really do much for me. The beat on there was kind of cool at first, but it's too subtle to really carry. A lot of the metaphors were really cliche, but I do give him props for trying to be a little bit more lyrical, even on these up-tempo songs. Yeah, we're just gonna go on to the next track, though. Kevin, skit.
Listen, Joyner, what's up? Heard the song Lottie you just dropped, and I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I'm not too impressed.
Honestly, me either.
Tell you why I'm not
Didn't know it was a single, though.
Because you still owe me money from a year ago with your little bitch-ass, fake-ass lifestyle. Now, it's a year later, because I'm 5'2" at K-Box, I'm 5'4", I'll whip your ass, swear to God. Get your ass whipped by a munchkin. Tell you something, Joyner, I don't care how sure I am. Still chase you down. Give me my shit.
I'm not really sure if that's real or if I'm supposed to be on this guy's side or against him. If everything that's said here is true, then he's bringing up valid points for sure. Yeah, I don't know if these skits are going over with me the way that they're supposed to, but I mean, get your ass beat by a munchkin, I guess. Yeah, track 10 we're up to already. We got Gold Mine. No features on this one, just a track. Smoothest flow so far. I like that.
Tom Brady, go against the grain and you meet it, you gotta be gay. Take it down and you gotta be paid. There ain't enough money.
That's a bad part. This part's the hook. That's such an overused bar.
ADHD can't sit straight.
Okay.
Please will you listen to my mixtape, huh? Please will you listen to my mixtape? Hey,
I'm working on it. Hey, this is getting repetitive. This hook is been said way too many times at this point. Really gonna reiterate that one. Instrumental on that track, kind of cool. Theme and idea of it though is really cliche at this point. This whole idea of kind of starting from nothing and getting to something, I understand that it's a very true thing that you can write about and it's something that might be compelling to hear about, but I feel like we've heard it from every rapper in the game at this point. The hook was repetitive, and there's some real fucking cornball lines in there. So, track number 11, and unfortunately, we have a Chris Brown feature. Okay, I'm liking this instrumental so far.
And they used to always tell me you ain't nothing special. Damn it, you done took it to another level. I was patient, you was there.
I kind of like how the beat is layering down. Yeah, this is probably the strongest hook on the project so far. I feel like we've seen the formula already though. Still not gonna complain about the hook, but we've heard it twice. Nice. Honestly nice. I don't want to say one of my favorites so far, but it's a better one. One of the better slower cuts we've had so far, I think. Next track is 10 Bands with Timbaland. Hi-hats.
10 bands, couple grand. Never had no money, but she love to dance. I gave her my money back to Uncle Sam.
Where is this?
Still want another chance.
Did he just do the Bad and Bougie flow? I think he did. Alright, whatever, I guess.
Man, you don't really know what you up about.
That bass is
I never take drugs.
fat.
My bike for a Wakanda. I never been into the drama. A one night stand with Madonna. Think I gotta hit him with the headbust.
Okay.
The dance. And I gave him my money with the Uncle Sam. I brought the haters out to play. I don't like you don't like me. Fuck me.
More humble flex kind of going on though.
Take my hand in the chance.
Hitting the hook too much again.
Women lie, niggas lie. I'm a
Beat switch. Alright.
ADHD.
What are these sounds?
Made a nigga bipolar. Order. Saving up hoes like a hoarder. 10 bands.
What are those vocals?
I want to take drugs again.
Okay, that's kind of clever. Okay, so that track, pretty good. Timbaland's verse was pretty heat on there though. I gotta say that was fire. Beat on there felt a little generic, but at times it was doing some switch ups, which I was alright with. That was cool. Revenge is the name of this one.
The more she died, the more I realized, the more that I strive, the more that I start, the more that I
Pianos are
the more that
nice.
she lead, the more cake. I want to be great, I wanted to change, and all to give
These
up.
lyrics
You want
over
me to
the
fall, you want me to
sad
crawl, you want me to
ass
stall, you want me to
instrumental.
drugs, you want I fall up on them white sleep.
Okay, I was waiting for
It's a
this.
fucking bag on me.
Alright.
You gon' see, roll up on them white sleep. Catch a nigga slipping, I might hit him with the broke my bitch's heart. She never forgive me
it's
again.
mixing the old
I had
beat
to
with what
find
they
myself,
brought in.
I killed and buried my friends.
Okay,
I couldn't swim.
okay.
I used to push some teeth. Don't you flex on them rolling deep enough to turn your block up in the world. You gon' see, won't nobody say a beat. Food, I don't wanna do no eat. I'm not eating.
Time the hook's coming back around. I'm bored by it now.
You gon' see, won't nobody say a
I'm sleeping, man. Nice outro though. Mixed on that one again. Kind of iffy on it. Might grow on me. The hook felt repetitive. The third time that it came around makes me just feel like the songs are a little bit samey. I mean, that had a beat switch, and I still got bored because it felt repetitive. There just needs to be more variation in these songs. I really, really liked the production on that track. The production was really good. Alright, we've got another skit coming up here. This one, track 14, is Comprehensive Evaluation.
Hey, buddy, come in and have a seat.
I hate it when people call
Your
people
mom
buddy.
told me you. I shouldn't have laughed
Hate
out
this
like
guy.
that. And I promise, from this day forward, that if you don't act like a little fucking retard and piss me
Oh
off again,
shit.
I won't lash out like that.
Not really.
Well, what if I told you that I have a prescription that you can't get at the pharmacy?
Like what?
You ever used cocaine, Joyner?
What's that?
How about
Uh-oh.
me for you?
Okay, so I've got a lot to say about that skit. Now, looking at it this way, I feel like what we're getting on this track as well as the other evaluation track, I think it's more something going on in Joyner's mind. This counselor is kind of representing his like self-doubt, and he's saying, you know, oh, turn away from the better choices, and here's this, mom wouldn't be proud kind of thing. And Joyner maybe still feels like a kid in his head, and maybe that's kind of his problem with ADHD. Interesting track, thematically a good one. All right, number 15 is the title track looking like. We got ADHD. Let me just make sure. Still filming. We on. More emotional cut again, I see.
I don't need no medication. I feel like I'm crazy.
Hello. This delivery is interesting. I like this hook. This is a stronger hook.
Or maybe I'm different and maybe my
Still a little long though.
Or maybe I'm different and maybe my ADHD got me tripping. Or maybe I'm just everything that you missing me.
There's not that much on the verses before we get the hook. Alright. Okay, so stronger hook on that one. That much is an improvement from most of the previous tracks. The hook was still used way too much, unfortunately. It doesn't really give a lot of room to breathe for the verses, and as a result, nothing on there really seems standout. Now, clearly, that's got one of the more straightforward subject matters. He's just talking about his disorder that he clearly has a lot of experience with. And I think that track might be relatable for a lot of people. 16 is Still Can't Love. Instantly, that's kind of cool.
I hold it down if you don't got me, then I got me. I still when I'm off that honey, I see double, feel like a zombie. What you gonna do for the patient? Way too tempted. Try to get rich, get mentioned. Should've won anything.
Okay, so honestly, I'm just pausing here real quick. Nobody on the track has said anything like hardly anything at all. There's so many love songs in the world that just to make another one, especially in this style, just feels way played out. We're gonna see if anything else impresses me on here, but so far nothing has. And that Klondike bar. Heyo, spoiler alert, Ben from the future here. My camera cut while I was getting the rest of the reaction to that song, and it didn't get any better. Least favorite on the project so far. I don't remember any of it now, 2 minutes later. And I also noticed the thing, it's not that the hooks are in the songs too many times, because I Love is a track that's structured in a similar way, and I can repeat that song all the time. I come back to it pretty frequently. The other hooks on this project, a lot of them just haven't been that strong, and the ones that are, I've given them props for having some of the better hooks. Almost every single one that I've heard on here so far has been way too long, and yeah. Second to the last track on here is called Will. We're gonna give it a try. Cool beat already, honestly.
I wrote up the film. I got me some paper. Hired a butler and got me a waiter. The Philly, they call me
It's just
the
more
Philly.
flexing so far. Beat's nice. The beat's nice.
That's the Wild Wild West. I told my homies I'm good with the label.
Can we just talk about the fact, I don't want to bring this up, but I feel like I have to. I didn't get the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air joke. I thought there was like an actual prince named like William, and yeah. So now it makes more sense why he's making direct reference to Will Smith's kids.
Yeah,
But
like it's a
honestly,
flip, now load up the film. I'm going back to Miami to meet with the go. I don't know if I'm in love with the pieces or I'm just in love with the bus. Get a time for something I knew I could build. I had nothing, just me and the heater and night.
Latin reference that flew over for a second.
I don't know why, so before they go, let's take on toast. So give them a rose while they still alive. I'm feeling like Will.
It's a good message. Hooks too long again. This is still a cool ass beat though. Don't get me wrong. Hold on. One of the more interesting upbeat, up-tempo bass songs. I thought that there was a pretty good message on that bridge, but most of the song was just flexing. So, I mean, lyrically, definitely one of the better tracks, though. This whole theme that he had, basically just, for whatever reason, worshiping Will Smith was kind of the theme. I'm not sure why, but hey, whatever floats his boat, he stuck to it really well, and the metaphors were kind of cool. The cohesion was there. But one of the better tracks we've had in a while here. Final track, Broke and Stupid. Nice.
First, we're affected by what we know.
This sounds
When I talk to the
vintage.
kids, but being stupid is what's really bad. And what's really, really bad is being broke and stupid.
Show remorse, now I'm in the building. When they greet me, they can hold the door. Knock me off the block, this is not Tetris. Life lessons I learned, tables turn, that's my assessment. They told me to be me. A lot of bitches did me dirty, ain't talked to me since. And now I'm insecure, closed off, but that's hard to admit.
I dig this confessional.
What making me jealous. Can't rain on my parade when I'm made of umbrellas.
I'm more
Fuck it, they
interested.
don't phase me. ADHD, I was slow.
Okay. You're
I'm proud of
flexing.
niggas like Hov, he made him $1 billion. Not a day I'm happy for the
Oh, the beat's picking up.
the guy could judge me. I don't even write on paper. I only hit it once, then I make her leave. We ain't cuddling, I need some space to breathe. And she fuck me good. Stupid.
And what's really, really bad is being broke and stupid. The ultimate.
What is this sample
ultimate
from?
negative life.
So I just hope that it ain't got no bodies. You gon' have to pay the price if you get what she broke and stupid. Shit'll never be the same again.
And what's really, really bad is being broke and stupid.
This how we gonna send it out? Okay, so general thoughts, wrapping it up. That last track, was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. A lot of things that drag this album down, and I feel like it could be a much, much better listen than it is, unfortunately. I think on nearly every track we have a hook that is too long and doesn't stand out enough. Honestly, at that point, just give me songs without a hook and that are just verses, because there's no meat on any of the bones of these verses. It's all in the hook, and it doesn't feel like a song at that point. It just feels like a hook. A lot in the way of innovation could have been better. Some of the song topics are just really, really samey. Real cornball shit here and there. But for every really, really corny line, there's one that's pretty solid. I will give him his props as a lyricist. It's just that you're going to notice the bad ones more than you notice the good ones, because the good ones just kind of should be there. The production was really good. I had no problems with the mixing. Mixing was nice all the way through the project. It's got some bangers, definitely a lot of songs really with some replayability factor, but as a whole project, I don't really see me coming back to that at all. I may do a formal review of this in the future, but I don't really know if I see it happening, so it's probably just going to stick with this one. And I guess I'm feeling about a 6- on this. I was mostly indifferent, but there's some songs that I do like in particular, which stops this from being like a 5. But most of it was a lot of indifference, and there were some tracks that were just a real drag to get through. I don't really want to say I'm disappointed, but I'm really disappointed. Really, that's my thoughts on this for now. Let me know what you thought of this album down in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. But that's going to wrap it up for this one, and I will see you in the next video.